Hey. Time for an out of this world story from rSpace. We've all had bad days, right? Those days when everything seems to go sideways, no matter how hard you try to steer it straight. Today on rSpace, when it rains, it pours. Had the worst day of my life thanks to my cheating girlfriend. I made her think I was taking her back, then exposed her to family and followers. What the actual hell is going on in my life? This has to be karma for past sins, or something is really wrong with the universe or me. I've done terrible things in my life, but I do not deserve this. Not at all. I just come here to read and comment here and there, and we all have a laugh, and that's all. It's all comedy on this app, and I swear I'm like this in real life too. So no, I do not deserve this one tiny bit. Today has been nothing but one big FU from the cosmos, and I just need to get this all off my chest before I lose my mind entirely. First off, my day starts off with me driving 3 freaking hours out of town to meet with an investor. We're talking big time money here, something that could have taken my life to the next level. The meeting was scheduled for 12 p.m. sharp, and I left the house early to make sure I wasn't late because, professionalism, something my so-called co-founder has no clue about, but we'll get to that a-hole later. So, I roll up to the office, all prepped and ready to give the pitch of my life. I'm in the parking lot, doing breathing exercises like some kind of Zen monk to calm my nerves. Everything's riding on this, Everything. And guess who's MIA? My idiot of a partner. The one guy who was supposed to show up and help me land this thing. He is supposed to be the CTO, the guy who explains technical crap. I just know the business and money side of things, but how it works on a technical level is way above me. But both of us were demanded to come by the investors. But why was I the only one sitting out there like a dummy, calling and texting him while sweating? No response, nothing. I was panicking, but I tried to stay cool because, hey, maybe he's just running late. Crap happens, right? Wrong. Suddenly it's 12:30 and I'm still alone, and I swear I can see the receptionist readying herself to call 911 because she knows I'm about a few minutes away from having a full-blown meltdown. Finally, I got a call from the mofo. This absolute clown. I get the most pathetic story from this guy, saying he got arrested last night. Arrested? This idiot got trashed celebrating the deal we hadn't even freaking closed yet, and got nailed for drunk driving. What the F? Who celebrates early for a deal that's still pending? Especially when being in a stable state of mind is vital to close the deal the very next day. Who the hell does that? He got hauled off to jail, and they confiscated his phone and everything else, so he couldn't call anyone. Which is fine, I get it. Crap happens. But this guy, this reckless prick, ruined everything. I didn't even know whether to laugh or cry. Like we were this close to landing a massive deal, and he pissed it all away because he couldn't stay sober for one gosh darn night. I tried to salvage the meeting by myself, but nope. That investor took one look at me standing there alone and decided I wasn't serious. Meeting canceled. Investment gone. After all, why put money into our endeavor if he couldn't even be sure that the CTO would be there when it mattered? I called my girlfriend, Jenny, who I have been dating for over 3 years now. We are in a long-distance relationship, and even though I absolutely hate anything long-distance and have vowed never to get into one, Jenny made me fall in love. The heart wants what it wants, and other sappy stories. Which is the most stupid thing I have ever written so far this night. Back to Jenny. She wasn't picking up her phone, which, as of then, I thought would be normal. She's always telling me how busy she is with work. How busy does a social media manager get that she can't answer her phone? All her work happens on the phone. So now I'm fuming. I lost out on a career-changing opportunity because my partner can't keep himself together, and my girlfriend is leaving me alone to deal with the BS. And it's not like this is the first time either. No. Both of them have a history of screwing up. Maybe after this I should introduce them to each other, but I think I put my partner up as the worst of the two. Always messing up deadlines, disappearing for days, and making reckless decisions. I've tried to buy him out of the business so many times, but he keeps refusing. Anyway, I leave and I'm so mad I can barely see straight. I do what any reasonable person would do. I hit up a bar because I figured 1 or 2 drinks would help me calm down, but it didn't. I decide to head back home. At this point, it's getting dark, and I'm still pissed, but at least I'm sober enough to drive. I'm driving back, and the roads are practically deserted because, of course, it's late, and I'm just stewing in my anger. Suddenly, this a-hole in a black Benz flies past me like he owns the dang road. No signal, no courtesy, just speeding like a maniac. Something inside me snaps and I'm like, oh hell no, not today. Not after the crap show I've been through. On a normal day, I'd let it go. But today was very, very different. So I start speeding up, trying to catch this guy. And before I know it, we're both flying down this dark, empty street, and I know I'm about to be a participant in road rage. I don't know what the hell got into me. Maybe it was the alcohol. Maybe it was the fact that my partner cost me $1 million deal. Maybe it was just the culmination of a crap storm that's been brewing for months. But I was pissed. And I wasn't going to let this guy get away with driving like a butt. I'm not proud of it, so cut me some slack. Finally, I managed to get in front of him and block him off. I'm breathing hard, adrenaline pumping, and I'm ready to get out and give this guy a piece of my mind. I'm thinking maybe I need a fight to work out all this anger in me. Maybe I need to get arrested too. I really didn't care if that was how this night ended. But before I can even get out of the car, the driver gets out first, cursing at me, and then soon after the passenger door of the Benz opens, and this girl steps out, screaming at me, calling me all sorts of names, telling me to mind my own business. And at first, I'm thinking to myself, who the hell is this little hoe screaming? That is when I notice it's Jenny. I swear I couldn't believe it. My girlfriend, the one I've been in a long-distance relationship with, the one who didn't even tell me she was coming into town. And here she is, stumbling out of some random guy's car, shouting at me like I'm the one who's in the wrong. I swear to God, at that moment, I thought I was having some kind of mental breakdown. Like, is this real life? Is this actually happening to me right now? Out of all the cars in the world, out of all the days in this year, out of all the people, I just happened to have a road rage showdown with my own girlfriend? What are the freaking odds? But I swear, it was her. I get out of the car, and as soon as she realizes it's me, the bird that has been yelling is suddenly mute. I'm standing there in total disbelief, and the driver stops yelling and starts watching us like we're putting on a show, and starts calling my girlfriend babe. I couldn't tell if he had lost his mind or if I had. I don't even know what to say. I'm standing there, mouth hanging open, trying to wrap my head around everything. Why the hell didn't she tell me she was coming into town? Why didn't she call me? And who the hell is this guy she was with? Babe? Babe? At that point, I'm convinced I've died and gone to hell. There's no other explanation. I've lost $1 million deal, my business partner is an effing disaster, and I'm somehow stuck with him. And now I find out my girlfriend's been riding around town with, and very likely riding, some guy who calls her babe like they're married. I can't even process it. I'm just standing there, frozen, while Jenny tries to explain. But her words don't make any sense. I can't even hear any of it. I feel like I'm trapped in some bad soap opera, and the universe is just sitting back, laughing its butt off at my misery. I've never felt so close to a murder-suicide as I did in that moment. I think my mental stability was dangerously close to collapsing. Somehow, though, I got back in my car, made my way back home, and turned off my phone. All of this happened mere hours ago. So here I am, drinking, almost done with this bottle of Captain Morgan, and thinking of how I lost everything in one gosh darn day. My business is effed, my relationship is effed, and my mind? Probably effed too. I'm writing this because I honestly don't know what the hell to do. How does this even happen to one person in the span of 24 hours? I am cursed. If anyone has advice, please help me. I have no one I can talk to, and writing this long freaking thing out has at least saved me an hour of potentially offing myself. Oh boy. Your business partner clearly doesn't understand the concept of priorities. Getting arrested before a crucial investor meeting is next level irresponsible. And as for your girlfriend, wow, what a way to find out she's in town. You deserve a business partner who's as serious about this as you are, and a partner who respects you enough to not sneak around. It might be time to let go of both of those people, OP. Update. Okay, rereading this is hilarious. Not genuinely funny like in Dave Chappelle or Bill Burr way, but it still has some humor in it. I'm allowed to think that. I lost my mind that night when I wrote the original post, and maybe the booze added to that too. I wasn't in the best place, and it felt like my world was falling apart. It still hurts, but I'm better now. Calmer too. Your comments got me thinking I should take a course in writing and become a writer or something. Maybe I'll do that when I have a midlife crisis. Dangerously close. But right now, I'm too busy focusing on my business. Y'all gave me some pretty extreme suggestions. Everyone was talking about Jenny and not the idiot of a partner. Either way, you guys helped me see things from a different perspective, and for that, I'm grateful. Now, where do I even begin with this update? After everything that went down with Jenny 4 months ago, finding out she was sneaking around with some random dude who had the nerve to call her babe right in front of me, I was wrecked, as you all know. I thought my life was falling apart, and in some ways, it was. But after reading through the comments, sitting with my thoughts, and replaying everything that had happened, I realized one thing. Jenny was going to pay for what she did. She wasn't getting away with this crap, not without consequences. It's crazy because I typically consider myself a docile person, but this changed me. Some of you said I should just dump her and move on, but I wasn't in the mood to take the high road. Not this time. I wanted her to feel the same raw pain and betrayal that I felt that night. To be honest, half of it was going to be transferred aggression, but it's not like she didn't wrong me. The more I thought about it, the clearer my plan became. The only way for me to really get under her skin was to play this out long term. I wasn't just going to ghost her and let her think that she had the upper hand. Oh no. I was going to get back together with her, make her feel secure, and then flip the script. Yeah, it sounds crazy, but when you're hurt like that, sometimes crazy feels like the only way to get closure. Talking about the upper hand, Jenny didn't seem to have that, because after our blowout fight on the side of the road, Jenny was calling and texting me nonstop. We didn't speak for a week because I ignored all her calls and texts, blocked her on everything, and let her stew in silence. She even sent mutual friends and family members to plead her case. One thing I didn't mention before, in all my anger, is that Jenny and I had been talking about marriage. Our families were already planning our engagement party. It was supposed to be a surprise, but I'm pretty sure she knew. Naturally, our families were messaging me after I ghosted her, saying whatever went down was just a misunderstanding and that Jenny was sorry. I didn't have solid proof she was cheating. After all, it's the Gen Z era where everyone calls each other babe. So why was I ending our relationship over something so small? Funny. Jenny even had the audacity to email me, saying how sorry she was, that she'd explain everything if I just gave her a chance. Blah, blah, blah. I wasn't ready to hear it yet, though. But after about 2 weeks, I reached out. I sent her a simple text. Let's talk. And just to chip it in here, that all this reaching out to her was part of my plan. I knew she'd jump at the opportunity. Sure enough, she did. Within minutes, my phone blew up with messages asking if we could meet in person. I told her I needed time to process everything, but I wasn't ready to throw away what we had just yet. Mr. Lover, word to Shaggy. I didn't give a crap about what we had. I was only thinking about what I wanted. So, we met up. She was in tears the entire time, apologizing for the misunderstanding with the guy in the car. She said he was just a friend and that she didn't mean to hurt me. Classic cheater move. She couldn't explain why she was in town without me knowing, though, and why she was dressed all cute when going out with a friend in the dead of night, trying to downplay everything like I was some kind of idiot. But I played it cool. I acted like I was still hurt, but willing to forgive her. And after a lot of back and forth, I let her believe I was giving her a second chance, and she called everyone up right away to tell them about our status. Over the next few weeks, we slowly started seeing each other again. I made it seem like I was trying to work through my trust issues, and she ate it up. She even made the bold move to stay with me for a while, which I agreed to. I also used that opportunity for revenge intercourse. I treated her like I would a filthy sex worker every time we went at it, and yes, I protected myself because who knew where she'd been? I let her know I was doing it as a way to make peace with everything, and it was just going to be for a while too. I guess the promise of marriage, the energy she had put into our 3 years together, and marrying a man with a tech business meant a lot to her, that she'd rather take all that than leave. Now, to the sweetest part of all this. You see, Jenny has this weird obsession with her social media presence. She's always posting pictures, tagging locations, making everything seem perfect for her followers. She was addicted to the validation. Her reputation was a very important thing to her. Her followers or her fans were her world. Another Gen Z thing I don't get. She didn't have up to 3,000 followers, so what was the fuss about? But either way, I wanted to destroy her world, like she did mine. But I needed some sort of proof to all of this for the inevitable breakup that was going to occur. So nobody would call me and start badgering me. I started gathering said proof. I went through old messages, photos, and every detail I could find that proved she'd been cheating on me long before I found out. It wasn't easy. Although she was now living with me, I had no access to her phone. She guarded that thing like a dog with its bone, and I could not just ask her for it. She would have deleted everything as fast as Usain. So first of all, I had to make her feel like I was still madly in love with her. I got her gifts, allowed her to hang out with her friends, gave her massages when the broad asked for one, and did everything for her. Then, when I knew she wouldn't suspect anything from me making her get drunk, I took her to a bar. Jenny drinks a lot like I do, so all I have to do is pay for anything she orders and just wait for her to do her thing. After all that drinking, which I myself didn't do much of, we got home, and I offered her more wine. She drank that too and fell asleep on the couch. This was the time to do the do. I took her phone and used her Face ID to open it up. and that is how I got access to her phone. I should add that from what I saw, it wasn't just the guy in the car that night. Oh no, there were others. She'd been playing me for months, if not longer. I got screenshots of her texts, some flirty DMs she sent to the other guys, and even a few explicit photos that she'd sent when she was supposedly busy with work. She was addicted to cheating, it seemed. A serial cheater. Everything was there. The proof I needed to blow up her perfect little image. About 3 months into our reconciliation, I decided it was time. We had plans to go out one night to a fancy restaurant downtown. You know, one of those places she loves to take pictures of her food and post online like she's living some kind of celebrity lifestyle. Everything was set. I even acted like I was going to make the engagement proposal that night and invited close friends and family. I already rented out a table too. But here's the twist. I didn't show up. I waited till I was sure everyone would be there, and when I started getting text messages and calls to know what was happening, instead of showing up, I sent a series of messages to everyone that had been invited with all the proof I had of her cheating butt, and apologizing to them that I made them come all the way for nothing. Then I posted the same screenshots as several posts on her Instagram because remember that day I got her to black out? I reset her Instagram password, signed in on her phone, and signed in on mine too. Then I sent her a message that I was breaking up with her, and all of this had been a game to me. The posts were brutal. Screenshots of her DMs, the texts sent to her other friends, explicit photos she'd sent while she was still with me, all of it. I made sure everything was sent with timestamps and commentary. But I didn't stop there. I included a nice little message explaining how she'd been cheating on me for months and how she'd been leading a double life the entire time. It wasn't just revenge, it was exposure. She sent me a voice note, hysterical, screaming about how I'd ruined her life. I didn't reply. I didn't need to. I'd already done what I came to do. A few of the people we had invited called to tell me how angry with me they were. Most were sympathetic, while the rest were just enjoying the drama. She didn't come home that night till the next day. I saw she had deleted the posts, but the damage must have been done. When she finally came home, she looked like a wreck and tried all the tricks in the book to beg me. She even tried seducing me. Why do women think sex is the answer to everything? But I just told her we were done. I picked up my car keys and told her to get out before I was back. I told her if anything got damaged, she would regret it heavily, in case she got any ideas. As for me, I'm doing great now. That was weeks ago, and the next thing on my agenda is to cut off my useless business partner. At that point, maybe I'll feel free for good. Maybe I should make another update for that. I started working with new investors, and the business is finally starting to take off again. Plus, I'm moving on from all the chaos Jenny caused in my life. I feel effing liberated. The way you documented everything and timed it so perfectly to hit where it hurt most, her obsession with social media, was just masterful. You played at her own game and made sure she couldn't walk away unscathed. Beyond the revenge, this was about reclaiming your power. She betrayed you, and instead of letting her control the narrative or playing the role of the heartbroken ex, you took action. The fact that she tried to paint everything as just a misunderstanding is laughable. You saw through the BS, and instead of accepting her weak excuses, you gave her a taste of the chaos she put you through. Bravo, OP. Do you have a similar story? Share it with us in the comments below. And thank you for joining us today on rSpace. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. See you soon.